Dr. Wilcox has been coming on the air with us for about 6 months?
No, 18 months.
18 months. But he's been coming on early in the morning, and we talked, and people getting up at different times, going to work at different times. So we wanted to start bringing Dr. Wilcox in from the Wilcox Eye Center there at the Point a little later in the morning, to let you folks know exactly what they do at the Wilcox Eye Center, which is more than just eye exams.
Well, yes. And so I showed up here about 10 minutes ago and started scribbling on a sheet of paper. And I'm going to list a bunch of things that we do.
Okay.
And the listeners will probably hear things they never heard of before. Possibly, probably.
I don't doubt that.
And so fire hose in the mouth. So I'm an eye doctor. I do all the normal optometrist stuff. We do eye exams, perform eye exams, give glasses and contacts. You got a foreign body in your eye. We treat glaucoma and evaluate the eye health relationship. But I'm a root cause guy. Always have been. Like the Socratic method says, if you can ask why and get an answer, then you're not at the root cause. So you just keep asking why, and if you run out of answers, then you're probably at the root cause. So why do we have disease? Why do we have these problems? And so applying that in my practice and what I do, children and teenagers whose glasses get stronger and stronger every year.
Right.
Well, the reason is, and for 99 point whatever percent of eye doctors and patients, and close to 100% of them, think that's just the way it is. And the fact is the eye is getting longer from front to back. And that's myopia progression.
Is that an aging process?
No, it's a big, long story, and I got a lot to talk about. So your eye stretches, okay? And so what you can do is you can wear these contact lenses or these corneal molds at night, and we fit them, been doing it for 20-some years, and you can stop the progression in nearsightedness. So the child who gets worse and worse every year, you can stop that. And it works for everybody, and that's one thing. So the root cause is stop giving people stronger glasses and selling glasses to people every year that are because they're stronger. Stop it. And you can do that with orthokeratology. And so then that leads into scleral lenses. Scleral lenses are these big contact lenses that fit on the white of the eye, not the colored part of the eye or the cornea, and they vault a sick cornea. And you can take people who have corneal diseases, keratoconus and whatnot, and there's a whole process of doing that and applying that to 2 and 4 people. And we have tearful experiences in the office where people who are, quote, blind and can see now because they had a corneal problem. And there's more to it than that. Neurolenses. People walk around all the time with neck pain, eye pain, forehead pain.
Yes.
And it's because, and they're on pain medicines, and they're using their TM, and it could be TMJ, but frequently we're fixing things from the what's called trigeminal neuralgia, and people can learn real quickly by putting a quickie here. Dig your fingers into the back of your neck. Don't move your head, and just aggressively move your eyes back and forth, and you go, holy cow! When I move my eyes, my neck muscles move, and that's exactly where the pain is. And so if you straighten out the crooked muscles in the eyes with some fancy prisms, you can relieve all these problems. My website, wilcoxeye.com, under services, the Neurolenses, you can see some tearful testimonials by people there. Again, the root cause. So we fix things and going down that road. Ocular disease. No one has ever come into my practice and said, I'm glad I'm half blind or a quarter blind. Nobody has. And
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that. Yeah.
But the thing is, it's true. And so there's an implied relationship between doctor and patient that says, do a good job. And so in doing a good job, then the research goes into the fix the gut, fix the brain, fix the body, fix the eye. It's all related. If you have gangrene in your fingertip, you're eventually going to die because it gets everywhere. And so a bad gut, bad brain, bad body, bad eye. And in taking that relationship and looking at the development of the eye, and another thing I say all the time is I'm a brain doctor because the eye is part of the brain. It's part of what's called the Diencephalon. And when the brain is developing and you get to the point where you can see like 5 little sections, my responsibility is the second section, the Diencephalon. And so as you look at the eye and there's hemorrhaging and there's ischemia or lack of oxygen and there's microvascular disease, that's going on in the brain as well. So as approaches are made to address eye disease biochemically, you're fixing and helping out brain disease and liver disease, and because it's all connected, okay? And so that leads to this Ocufolin, this medical food that I like, invented by an eye doctor whose father had peripheral neuropathy and diabetic-related peripheral neuropathy. And so he went looking around for what he could make, and he came up with this concoction that has proven to be brilliant, because not only does it help with the small blood vessels in your toes and your fingers, but in your eyes and your brain as well. So, and simply put, it improves circulation, improves perfusion, get the good stuff in, the bad stuff out, and it reduces what's called venous stasis. And my quickie on that is, water goes in your house, septic goes out. And if the septic backs up in your house, you got a problem. So you have to reduce that outflow problem. And
now, I want to remind everybody that what Dr. Wilcox is doing, because this is the first time he's been on later in the morning, is he's given us an overview of all the things that he does. Over the next weeks and months, you're going to hear a lot of this stuff in detail, because he's using a lot of terms that, even though he's used them with me before, I'm going, okay, I remember that, but I don't remember that. But the bottom line, as he said in the beginning, is he is an eye doctor office. When you come in and you have a problem, he's going to diagnose the problem and talk to you about it. And if you say, well, I just want glasses, you're going to get glasses or contacts. Didn't mean to interrupt, but
it's perfect.
You're perfect, throwing out a lot of information.
So what happens, and kind of bringing it all together, when I look, when I look in somebody's eyes, the brain is turning. And usually it's patch on the back or out the door, but frequently, on top of that is like I love imaging the back of the eye. We have phenomenal imaging systems. And when I'm sitting there in the chair, this happened yesterday, everything's fine. Yesterday, everything's fine, and there's a stroke in the eye, and somebody who didn't know they had a problem.
You mean a stroke, like we talk about somebody had a stroke?
Yeah, because it's the brain. When there's a stroke in the eye from hypertension, it's an infarct. It's given the same name, and it's going on everywhere. So you're going to have renal disease. And so the hypertensive and the diabetic, what goes on and puts you on dialysis is going on in your eyes as well, and your brain, and your spleen, and your kidney. So then the guy came in with the typical flashes like, oh, I've got a posterior vitreous detachment, and he had a retinal detachment, and he had surgery last night. And so I'm always thinking of the worst thing that can happen. Then I go to the second worst thing and the third worst thing, and at the same time, I'm telling silly jokes,
Yeah.
And
I know that.
Yeah, and
all right, go ahead, continue with your list.
on this medical food, this Ocufolin, we have so many cases of people's retinal circulation ischemia, a lack of oxygen problems, getting better, that was made by an eye doctor for his father, that this is now proven. People know of AREDS 2 for macular degeneration. Well, this stuff is already pre-positioned as what we were calling AREDS 3. So if you have macular degeneration, you're not being efficient taking an old formula that's 15 years old, and the people who made that formula, NIH, have stated and published articles recently that what you should take is a different concoction, which is found in Ocufolin in this eye folate. So ahead of the time on that, and we have it, and I'm a big proponent. I'll be going to Richmond this weekend talking to 100 eye doctors about it. Next week, I'm going to go to Miami for a 4-day conference on ozone. We've been using ozone in our office for years and years and years. Yeah. And there's a paper being published, and working on it right now with 3 doctors on this gentleman. I'm an arm in the treatment plan for this guy. And the optometrist I happen to have this chamber you get into that exposes your body to ozone. And why does the eye doctor have this? Well, it's because if you want it, the precious gift of sight needs to be, saved and repaired as best as with all means possible. And so this one guy with this skin disease that doesn't have a cure got cured. And then we use light, photobiomodulation, and we use magnetic fields, pulsed electromagnetic fields, frequencies, specific microcurrent. And people can go right down www.eye-cell.com. Go halfway down the page, you'll see a and kind of a cyborg looking woman and scroll through that. I'm in charge of that study. We have 5 locations in the country, and we're using these frequencies and these signals to fix broken eyes. We're starting with macular degeneration, proven throughout the body, and we're doing the eye part of it. And so, but we also do routine eye care. I need glasses. I failed my DMV test. I want contacts. And that's kind of a 50,000 foot view of the office and what we do.
And as he ended with, remember, sometimes listening to Dr. Wilcox, and I'm speaking very bluntly here, can be a little scary. When he first started coming in on a regular basis and I was hearing him and I'm going, whoa, this is a little deeper than anybody wants. But once you break it down, it really becomes very simple. Now, when you go into his office, let's say, like me, you wear glasses, something's not right. You go into Dr. Wilcox's office. He's going to give you an eye exam and determine what the problem may be with your eyes and your current glasses or whatever. He'll talk to you about the solution for that problem and then give you the option to gather more information about what he thinks could help you even more. The word option is always there.
Without a doubt. I communicate with patients because I have so much to tell. I got to put it in little thumbnails, and then I'll email people all the time. Said, here, just give me your email. I'll send you a bunch of stuff. And then because there's a lot of window shoppers in everything in life, right. And you got to go let them. If you're not going to spend the minutes and time to go research some things, then I'm moving on because I need to have people who are on my side. I'm educate you, teach you, show you, answer your questions. But I can't get in a tug of war with you because it's a belief system,
Right.
And there's science behind all this stuff.
And I will tell you, it always amazed me how much physicians, my PCP, has to continually read to be up to date on information. And I never thought of that in terms of my eye doctor. Mm-hmm. But you are constantly reading, researching, working on different studies. It sounds almost at times like it's a 24-hour job.
It's a mental disorder. So I chase shiny objects. I've got the squirrel brain. And so, but part of what I do is this is just the way I've learned is I get engrossed in something. I learn a lot about it. I put it in my back pocket and I move on and I'm attacking the next thing. And then there's people behind me who take that and they really develop a specialty practice with it and they do better. Great, wonderful. So I'm well diversified in the practice.
And I've really come to respect a lot of the things that you talk about. I said many, many months ago that we have an employee here whose son his eyesight was getting worse, and you got him the
corneal molding, orthokeratology.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
He wore the
nighttime molds or lenses.
The next day, he didn't have to wear his glasses, and I'm sitting there going, that sounds, it's the old when something sounds too good, it's too good, but it's true.
It is true. It's true.
But does it work with adults too? Does it work with an older
So
eye?
our populations that we perform orthokeratology or corneal molding on is principally 6 to 18. And then the next group is the 57-year-old women who are sick and tired of reading glasses. And then we go into the 20 to 40-year-olds. Because LASIK is there.
I'm 70. I'm out of both of those groups.
I tell people all the time, jingles, you don't do it because I said so, because of cost, chicken, and expectations. And so this is true with anything in life.
Right.
You don't do it because the advocate, the person who's got your back, says no because of X, Y, and Z. And then there's a cost, and cost is sometimes time, sometimes money. And then there's chicken, I'm afraid to touch my eyes.
Sure. And
then expectations. You can't be a firefighter and do it and get up and go. And you can't be a gamer till 5 a.m. and all this sort of stuff. And that's what I do is we want to have success stories all the time. We want to have happy experiences with patients. And sometimes, and unfortunately, there's bad news you got to tell people. And there's a good, comfortable, loving way to do that. But we have a fun office. Just smoked a bunch of pork yesterday for the staff, and we got a smoker in the back, and we try to have a good day. It's harder these days.
Are you still looking for employees, by the way?
No, we're doing great.
Okay.
We have our last. It took us 4 people to get to our last person, and we're very happy.
Okay.
And so it's a lot of work to run a business and to do these things. And there's you work 9 to 5 to provide the care, and from 5 to 9 to clean up the kitchen.
Sure.
And, yeah.
Well, listen, we're going to get you back in for, I don't know how long. We're going to bring you in at a later hour at 8:35 so that other people can hear about all the things you do at the Wilcox Eye Center.
Yeah, and I look forward. I'm Peter Wilcox. I've been 30-some years in practice. We're at the point, wilcoxeye.com, and look forward to teaching this audience. And I'm sorry for the people who listen at 7:30. You get a double dose.
Wow. All right, Dr. Wilcox, as always, thank you.
All right.
It's 8:49.